Hello and good evening and welcome to The Truth Behind the Truth. Hello, my gentlemen. Welcome to December, my favorite month. My God, December 3rd. It's an exciting day for me. Double reasons, because it's my mom's 105th birthday in heaven. Yeah, I just, I think about that somewhere. I know I'm jumping way ahead of myself at this point, but I just felt that moment. but yeah, I get excited, and I know you do the same thing, Harold, and you as well, partner, that, we could still celebrate them, as the time goes on. And I think in the back of my mind, it's like, wow, 100 and something years ago this day, and it takes you back to your ancestral and all those other good things. So I look forward to that. I post something every year, about that. But today is her 105th birthday. Yep. Love you, Mom. Wow. But anyway, hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Harold, you're looking so good tonight. I don't know. We need to go on. Hey,
I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what.
Oh, you know what? You know what it is? Good Living Now. We just released our new product. Our fourth product is this colon cleanse. We have a new product. It's an herbal colon cleanse. That's why I look so good, because I've been on this colon cleanse for about a week.
Ooh, well, that's good. Because I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of people need to get some shot of.
There are studies that say that the average American has between 5 to 15 pounds of unprocessed food.
I can honestly believe that. Really, I can honestly believe
colon cleanse.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna leave that alone. I was gonna say something else. Bernie, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I say some people are full of life, some people are full of I'm gonna have a sip.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth behind the truth.
I'm great.
What's going on?
Not so much. I would say really this weather and this flu and cold season,
I'm feeling a little better.
It's just really getting out of hand. Y'all notice there's a shortage in cold and flu medicine that's going on right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Not in the produce section. Not in the produce section. Go get you some.
You're right about that.
That's true. That's true.
That is so true.
Make sure you get your ginger, your lemon, and your honey.
Right. Yes,
and your turmeric.
Yeah, that's right. Food be that medicine.
Come on now.
One of the things about that, just real quick, when COVID was first implemented, and how we used to what was that tonic water we used to get with turmeric in it.
Oh well, yeah.
We used to drink tonic water every day, like with turmeric in it, wasn't it?
It wasn't turmeric. It was something else. It has another ingredient in it, but
it was one. It was like they have it in it like all the time. And one of our Somalian friends or whatever, she says that their country they have that a part of their life, and it does help them from getting sick from major diseases. So it was in, what was that tonic water that it was in?
It's a prophylactic against malaria tonic water. Usually has significant lower quinine. That's why a lot of people was drinking tonic water during the COVID situation, because they had that ingredient in it, which kind of I think it kind of tempered down a little bit with the symptoms, because in third world countries, that is one of their medicines. That's what they use in order to fight malaria and stuff of that nature. So I think that's why she was telling us to drink it, because it would keep the COVID down, or keep the COVID out of our system.
Right. So I guess
and she was from Ethiopia.
Right.
She was one of the Ethiopians that I was working with at CVS at the time. So that was an interesting trait.
I guess.
JB, how are you feeling?
Better today. I had, of course, been taking that cold medicine, for the past few days, but I'm much better today. I think last night was the biggest dose I took of it, and so feeling much better today. So, hopefully it is passed, and usually I don't like to claim sickness. Y'all know that I don't like to claim sickness at all, but something always kind of brews up when the weather changes, and I think it's really kind of your system adjusting to that, through the changes that's in the air. So, but I'm feeling much better today. Thank you. I really appreciate that by all means. So you guys look great. Parnell, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, doing great. I had a good day at Disney today.
Okay.
Went a few shows there, and I got a holiday party to go to after the
Where's your mouse ears?
Oh, right now.
The mouse ears. They're on the shelf somewhere in there.
Okay. So they got to be the newest Mouseketeer.
Right.
So were you performing tonight, Disney?
Yeah, we're doing Tale of the Lion King.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
The extended version.
Yeah. It's 25 minutes. We tell that whole show in 25 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'll be back at it tomorrow.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So you have another major gig I think you share with us. If you don't mind, do you want to share with the audience, maybe those in our Michigan area that's coming up that can support you in that aspect?
I'm going to hold that just a little while.
Okay.
Until the paperwork is all signed.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that's right. Got to get that contract, baby.
But yes, I will. That is the plan. Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be sure to update. Y'all will be the first to know.
Yes, definitely. Because
we'll know where the hell was Cornell.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So what's going on in our news buzz? I know there's been kind of like a somewhat subtle. I'm still a lot of these anti-Semitic crimes. I mean, crimes of the words. Especially with Candie or whatever his name is. This week. I mean, I did say one thing, and we talked about this the other night. Please, I want you guys to chime in on it. I said, for where this guy is, okay. Now, I mean, to the known world, he is becoming this probably walking idiot. Okay, just to put it mildly. All right, at the end of the day. However, I took a step moment, and we talked about this the other night. That I took a step behind the truth. Okay, and I said, maybe this guy is being used for a purpose. You see what I'm saying? And if we take it off of the rhetoric and all these other type of things and whatever the case would be, he may be a bridge to start some honest conversation between people groups that need to happen to bring a lot of this stuff forward, rather than kind of coming in with this antagonistic, purpose, either black versus white versus black. We come in with all these challenges all the time. Maybe he may be a bridge at some point to have an honest conversation going on, be it, from the Jewish community, be it from the white supremacy community, from the black community. We don't know. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes that I think the universe, if I say, will use some obscure situation to bring harmony, to a better level, So we were, kind of vibing, and I thought about that because I was listening to what the news they said about him, and I said, well, you know what? Maybe there's something gonna come out of this. I won't say good, but it may some sort of change may come. And change is good too. So, but anyway, go ahead. I just wondering what you guys think about that.
That's a very provocative hypothesis. Because
I love how you said a provocative hypothesis.
Good. It's a very provocative one,
right?
Because a lot of people wouldn't see it that way because it's so corrosive, it's so divisive, it's so you try to, and I also people talk about his mental illness, and let's just say he might have some form of mental illness in him because of the death of his mother. But I'm not laughing at Kanye. I won't laugh at him because history has already told me that you don't laugh at people when they talk crazy. You need to listen to them, number one, because people that we have known down the pipeline, and he did mention Hitler, and Hitler was an artist. He was a painter, and when he came out and talked about all that anti-Semitic, all of that, and he was, and people tend to forget, Hitler was a conservative politician. He did not care for progressive ideas, even progressive in the arts. Because when he ousted, came into power, he ousted all of the progressive ideas regarding of the LGBT, the early LGBT movement. He casted out all Jewish scientists who had progressive ideas like Einstein. He and all of your European Hollywood makers at the time, even as far as Marlene Dietrich, he threw them all out. So I would say this. You need to listen to somebody like Kanye because, see, we don't know how many people are believing in this rhetoric. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous. Even President Biden had to come out and kind of rebuke it. So I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to shut. I'm going to listen and pay attention because when you don't pay attention, what happens is there's a situation where, hey, he might have some ground where he could run for president and he could have some political power. So I'm just saying it is provocative what you're saying. And probably him bridging the gap is probably the idea for him to have some force of political power or political platform. I'm just saying, y'all can take it.
No, that's honestly, that was a very clear place of
y'all
some
can take it.
truth behind the truth.
It's a lot to unpack,
it is a lot to
but
unpack.
it's like I think about stuff like that.
Right.
But
I was going to make a point about Hillary, but go ahead. I know, Parno, you're waiting. Go ahead.
I'm just like, if people vote for that man to be president, let me look at my map where I can move to. That is just so much foolishness. But I agree, D, we do need to listen, first of all, to hear what's being said and to be able to counter it with factual information.
Right.
About what's happening, because he was, I didn't hear any because I tried to hear what he has to say as little as possible because it's annoying. But Hitler invented this. Like, no, he didn't invent that. He just happened to be reigning at the time that other people created these things, and that's a different context. Yeah. So it's kind of like, again, as I've said before, for somebody who talks about, I'm a free thinker, but I don't read any books, maybe you should read a book because then you would know who actually invented these things that you're trying to give credit for. But it's not funny at all. It is a sad state of affairs to watch him being used for other people's ideology and motives, that they can put him out there just like, see, we told you. There are even some Black people who think this. Like, yes, a Black person who was diagnosed as bipolar and is probably having, a long-term manic episode, who's not taking his medication, who is not in counseling, and it's like, so you have to take some of the stuff, most of the stuff that he's saying and doing with a grain of salt, and it's like, okay, not right.
Gotcha. Harold?
Well, I have a good friend who's bipolar, and so hearing your hypothesis, maybe there's some good. I don't see that. That doesn't mean that it's not possible.
Right.
What I just see is a young man just unraveling, and I think we all have kind of used the excuse of his mom passing, and but I'm like, okay, my mom passed, your mom. I mean, it's like I think we keep giving him passes because of something that is universal. That's so I don't know, but I mean, like Dylan said, that's what did you say, Dylan? Would you say that's provocative hypothesis? Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay.
But we just need to pay attention though to it. But
exactly. All right, well, that was good. That took up our little break there.
I know, right?
Anyway, guys, thank you again for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We will be right back after this break with our wonderful guest for the very first time, The Truth Behind the Truth, author, model, and extraordinary playwright Brad Candie will be with us after this break. We'll be right back.
If you need a pickup car, if you need a dumpster or it should call yeah. Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth. Want to remind you guys also to go to our webpage. That's where you keep in touch with us, all of the events, things that we've got going on. Make sure you go to www.thetruthbehindthetruthproductions.com. You can always sit there and send your emails into info@thetruthbehindthetruth.com. If you want to be a guest on the show, go there and click on casting for thetruthbehindthetruth.com. And if you want to call Pernell, go to that page too. Also, I want to remind you guys about our upcoming Christmas show, the 17th. Yes, our exciting Christmas show. We're gonna pop in guests, gonna have a lot of fun, reflecting over what this year has been with us up to the point of our Christmas season and all that. So be tuned in for that. And the last Saturday of this month. All right, yes, our very first ever New Year's party show. Oh, we're gonna be partying from every location, you know. Harold gonna be out in the street in North Carolina shaking it, you know, and you know. So it's gonna be fun, but guys, make sure you tune into that show as well. All right, let's get ready and dig into it. I'm gonna say his name, and then Dolly gonna tell you about it. Okay. All right. He is a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for quite some time, and I'm really thrilled and excited to be able to invite him to be a part of The Truth Behind the Truth, to hear about his truth behind the truth and everything that he's accomplished through and in his endeavors. It's a lot, very distinguished and very handsome gentleman that is very, again, as I said before, the very first time they're coming to the show. Want to welcome Brad Candie to the show.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Now, Bradley Candie, he is what you call your typical Renaissance man, actor, playwright, director. I'm telling you, he got this amazing book called Sisters, A Promise Kept. Mm-hmm. All right. And also an HBCU alum.
Well, y'all got that in common.
Yes. Morehouse now. I went out to state. Okay. But you went to Morehouse and Howard, so you went to the top tier. So you top tier HBCU alum. Yes. So welcome.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. You make me sound good and make me look good.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you. Definitely. I love the look. I mean, just, you know, of course, since we're not in Atlanta, I mean, we were trying to have a little group together, probably, what was about 4 years ago, I think we were trying to do this.
Maybe a little longer, yeah.
I know we did. We hung out maybe 2-3 times, and then it's like, everybody else.
I see you in the gym working out.
Right, exactly. So everybody started finding other stuff to do. But anyway, you know how that works. And you know how people do.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad. I'm really glad. I mean, all these years that we've been friends and acquaintances and knowing each other. So I'm really grateful to be able to have you here tonight and being a part of this blossoming part of our lives, you know, and being a part of the truth behind the truth, you know, in that. But
well, so speaking of looks, you know, Bradley was just received the award for Silver Fox of the Year.
Oh, wow.
You guys have your sources. Wait. Yes, thank you. Yeah, grateful. You know, I just say that God is good. When I am 52 and I have finally found what my purpose is, I am walking in my truth. I am accepting who I am, the gray hairs and all. I'm just excited to be alive, and I'm grateful for the Full Figure Awards Committee for nominating me, and then I did win the title for Outstanding Silver Fox of the Year. So
wonderful! Congratulations!
Thank you. Devil was busy though. I was on my way to New York to go to the attend awards committee, the awards program, and my flight was canceled.
Oh no!
I won't say which airline it is, but they surely just came out and said your flight's canceled.
Sound like Delta. I'm sorry.
No. That's dear to my heart. That's Bobby's.
I forgot.
But God still prevailed, and
yes.
I'm grateful. Yeah.
Good.
So Bradley, tell us about this new book that you just released.
I am excited. Yes, Sisters, A Promise Kept. So Sisters, A Promise Kept is a story inspired by my mother and her two sisters, Gertrude Cox, Shirley Weldon, and Sarah Walker, and their share of trials, tribulations, and triumphs in the face of being diagnosed with breast cancer. So it is realistic fiction. So I took dialogue that I actually heard them have between each other. I grew up in a time where children were not privy to adult conversations. So dialogue that I thought they had when behind closed doors. And then myself, I infused my own dialogue as a caretaker. And so I created a story around the theme of these three women, three different views on breast cancer treatment. It challenges your belief in God. It challenges your belief in family. And even, you guys were just talking about Candie, but and how, Dylan, I forgot, tell me how you described
he's a provocative hypothesis.
So that is even applicable to cancer, because if it was not for cancer, cancer actually brought the sisters together. Wow. We all have our own family discord and dynamics and situations. But in the midst of this monster, as I describe it, with all of its purpose of destruction, it brought healing and peace and unity back to the sisters. So, you always have to be grateful for the situation. You may not like it, but something beautiful can come out of it. Mm-hmm. So, so my dear friend, my fraternity brother, my alpha brother, Derek Wills is the publisher. He is a young, brilliant, dynamic young man here in Atlanta. He is the founder and CEO of the Identity Corporation. And I was exposed to a concept years ago that I was not ready and could not understand. But now in my 50s, I do understand. Don't worry about the how. Your job is to just to put action behind whatever it is that God, or you, however you want to call your spiritual enlightenment, has charged you to do, has gifted you to do, has entrusted you to do. You are to be obedient and do that, and God is the how. So when I was prepared, when I was obedient, when I was willing and able to accept the how, he put Derek into my life, and Derek just made all of this come true. So I'm grateful to everything. Give thanks. So
wow, that's go ahead, Pranav. I was going to jump in, but go ahead, Pranav.
Oh no. I was just listening when you were talking about how these sisters dealing with cancer and how that brought them together. And we just celebrated World AIDS Day on December 1st, and I know it was interesting because I used to do HIV and AIDS education back in the day. And there was a lot of people who were just like, in some ways, HIV was the best thing to happen to them because they started taking care of themselves. Because a lot of people said, but when you have something that's like, if you don't handle this, you up out of here.
That's right.
So people start eating better. They start getting rest and exercise. And, all of a sudden he's like, oh, you got our health. I said, well, I got you now. Because there is this battle going on that I have to fight and do everything that I can. So it's great to see that as devastating, as illness can be, that it can also be something that brings family and community together for the betterment of the individual and the community.
And that's the beautiful thing about this book. I was worried because when I started doing my research and I was telling people what I was going to write about, especially in my family, it's taboo to talk about. It was taboo to talk about in my family. So, I told them what I plan to do and the reasons why. And then all of a sudden, people said, well, this book really, yes, the topic is about cancer, but you can omit cancer and put anything in there. HIV and AIDS, diabetes, you name it, and mental health. And it still surmises or, has that same weight. So that's, I was worried, being a Black author for the first time solo project, that the dialogue, is told through my mother's eyes, Sisters of Promise Kept. And my mother didn't conjugate verbs all the time.
Right.
She cussed, she talked, but you got the point of what and if you didn't, she'd be able to tell you another way. But, that's what I was worried about. Would they see this just as a book that would be speaking only to the Black community? But when I did the play first and looking out into the audience, it was a plethora of cultures, races, and I just love it that people aren't getting caught up and it's just about cancer, or it's a Black author talking Black lingo and dialect, and it's only speaking to the Black community. No, this is a universal
Absolutely.
idea. So,
well, I wanted to to celebrate that, and I'm going to definitely have to get a copy to send to my cousin. Excuse me, I had to bring her up because I have a cousin, Shanette, that has had a series of victories over breast cancer. I mean, she has been in this battle, for a number of years. And every time that they have wanted to count her out, of course, she gets a victory from the spiritual healing of, coming to her body and how, she perceives that. But I hope she gets a chance to listen to this particular episode of the show tonight. I know my other cousin is on watching tonight as well. But I want to send, just your grace and your energy to her in the midst of this, because she is in that constant wave, but she has seen so many victories, of dealing with it. I mean, you're speaking of a young woman, she has not even 50 yet, you know what I'm saying? So being a young woman having to contend with it and has been really victorious. I mean, she really has. She's been a real
I'm glad to hear that
to us, to the family and what she's done. So I'm thinking that the truth behind all of this is that even being able to share, your book with her was going to enlighten her even more. So I applaud you for that. Definitely.
And then I appreciate hearing that, because I've discovered in writing the play and especially giving birth to the book that there is a purpose within the purpose.
Yes.
So my purpose was to write about it. It was therapeutic to have a way in which people would remember the names of my family members and honor them for years to come. But the purpose within the purpose is that there is healing. When I did the book launch and just talking to people and looking at them and saying, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, is something about connection between individuals that I can't give credit to writing the book that has done that, but there's an element, there's a spirituality, there's an energy force that is created, and that is the whole purpose of Sisters, just to have the conversations, just to let people know that they are not alone, just to give people who have lost their voice from cancer, and to say, I may not be able to say it, but I'm Shirley. I'm Gertrude. That's how I feel, because so many women came to the play, and you could see there, they would just sit there and they couldn't say anything, and they'd call me over and they just say, I'm Gertrude. And just to give and the wonderful thing about the book, I'm so excited for
Go ahead.
The wonderful thing about the book is the difference between the book and the play is when we did the play, two people in the opening scene got up and left. I could see them stand up and walk out.
Wow.
But I kept focus. And so thank God they were employees of one of the individuals depicting Sarah, one of the characters in the play. So they went to her the next day and said, please forgive me. Please let Brad know and the cast know that it was not because it was bad or I was offended. It was because it hit too close to home. My mother had just been diagnosed with cancer, and then someone else in their family. But I had to come up with a way in which if they walked out, so they never experienced the end of the play, the entity. But the book in your own time, in your own safe place, you can close it. And when you are ready, you can open it back up again. Wow. So the potential for healing and connection is still there. You are not going to miss anything because you have a book.
Wow. So in developing the manuscript from the play into the book, it's usually kind of the book to the play. You know, it's kind of like
I plan, God laughs.
Right, no, exactly. So, it was kind of a reverse process in there.
Yes.
But when we I know we've got a break coming real quick. So kind of tell us about the inception. You know, when we come back from break, and where it evolved from, and what was that deepest part of you that allowed you to come up with the play first, and then the manuscript of the book after that. But we're going to go a quick break, and we'll come back with that question, okay? All right, we'll be right back with Brad Candie. Quick break.
crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and sweet Sue's with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind
the Music.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again. And we have a wonderful one with my dear brother Brad Candie with us tonight, expounding about his wonderful book and his play. And also, we're going to dig in how he put all this whole concept together. Go ahead, Brad, again.
So I wish I'm glad you asked me that before the break, because I was like, I got to come up with something profound to say, but I have nothing profound to say other than it is just the process that I went through. It's just what was written first. So God provided a way for me I sang with the Atlanta Opera, and we went overseas to do Porgy and Bess. And so I had this wonderful opportunity, this time, this creative space to start writing. So I took pen to paper. Now, mind you, I was charged with the responsibility in 1988, but was not obedient. So I finally got the courage to start writing. And by the time we came back a month and a half later, I had about 250 some pages written, handwritten back and front and back paper. So I had to just whittle that down. And I think the reason why it was the play first, I had to do the play first, is because I had to do more research. I had to witness people, hear their testimony. I had to get the kinks out. I had to experience the joys, the laughter. And so that gave me the dialogue. And also, like I just said, I had to experience people walking out to figure out a way to come up with a way in which people can still experience sisters. So it is all about timing. So like I said, you plan, you think you have an understanding, but sometimes you'll move it out the way, and you just need to be obedient and do what you are charged to do. So after hearing the dialogue, the question and answer, feedback from the audience, I realized that I could expound upon and incorporate more things, more dialogue, more substance. And so I did that with the book. So in actuality, the first script, little to my knowing, was a movie script. Didn't know it. And so look at the blessing in it, is that I have had people since the launch of the book who I don't even know walk up to me and said, and profess there's a movie. There's a movie in this. There's a movie in this.
Just going to say that.
But I had to be in a position to receive that blessing.
Yes.
If someone had said that to me years ago, I would have blocked it because I could not envision this being further. So you just have to be obedient. You have to do. Don't worry about the how. The how will be revealed. I'm excited about the how to come.
As a playwright and as a author, with this story, Sisters, A Promise Kept, you know, some years back when Lorraine Hansberry wrote A Raisin in the Sun, she said that she wrote this play not based only on the Black experience, but on the American experience. Do you see this play such as that being with the backdrop not only being the Black experience, but it could be the Jewish experience, the Latino, the Hispanic, it could be anybody.
Let me tell you, this is not about race or culture. It is cancer doesn't care what color you are, how old you are, where you come from, financial background. Its purpose is to destroy and leave a path of destruction. So yes, it is a human experience that really has bonded us all together. And I have thought long and hard about when I do the play again, to see what it would be like to have an all Caucasian cast, to have an all Latino cast, because I still think there's so much that I could learn about how cultures really process sickness and the essence of family. This is a human experience that an entity, a foreign entity, doesn't care, and it's all about just taking your voice from you.
Got you.
Yeah.
Whoever. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
One more. I just got one more, and I'm so sorry. I got one more.
Y'all can have me back if we run out of time.
I'm gonna make it short and sweet. As a Renaissance man, you are an actor. You are an author and playwright. Which one? What? How did you know this was your purpose, writing and all of this? Did it just happen, or did you just all of a sudden have to sit yourself down and think about, I know I can do this, but I can.
So let me tell you something. All my life, now I told you I was 52. Prior to being 52, my whole goal was to define specifically what my purpose is. So it came to me because you just have to be aware and listen and watch all the things that are going around you, because the answer is right in front of you, but I had to be in a space to be prepared. So my purpose is to utilize all the skill set that I have to motivate and to encourage. So I'm not going to just limit myself and say I'm a model, I'm an actor. I'm using all of the talents that I have, all of the blessings that I have, because the true purpose is to motivate and to inspire people to live the best life that they can.
Mm-hmm. And that's the truth behind the truth.
That is the truth behind the truth. I love it.
Well, no, I was just going to say, clearly your story is resonating with people, because I know that you were top 5 finalists in the Jubilee Theater's 2012 New Works Festival, and were accepted to be a part of the 2018 Las Vegas Black Film Festival. So this is just, obviously the story is really resonating with people regardless of ethnicity or even gender. With your career, your creative genres coming up there, how difficult is it for you to transition from book to play to film?
So it was actually easier to transition from play to book because the dialogue was there. The outline was there. All I had to do was, I could fatten it up, if you will. I could add more details. It was that's why I like talking to authors about their process. What is your process? How did you start writing? I was worried about, I got C's in English and I may not be able to, I don't know, I didn't have the education. And man, just write. I had someone said to me, you are an author as soon as you put pen to paper. And then that's when I just started writing. I didn't go back to reread it. I didn't go back to judge it. I just wrote. And then I had the opportunity to sit back and say, do you like this? What don't you like? You have the opportunity to take it out. You can add something. So yeah, don't worry about like the stuff that you don't have. Capitalize on what you do have. And I had a pen and a piece of paper.
Wow. Go ahead, Harold.
So before this book, Sisters, you had co-authored a book, Men and Mental Health. And, you know, with the holiday seasons upon us, a lot of people are struggling with depression, suicide rate goes up. In fact, I read somewhere that you had even had an experience with suicide. Would you care to share?
Yes, sir. So I give all grace and I'm glad to know Miss Venessa. This is her project, but she gathered about maybe 10 to 11 African-American, I believe, we'll just say men, to write their story about mental health. Mm-hmm. And so I was excited because I was at a roadblock with writing the book. I just felt defeated. And so writing my chapter about my life experience with suicidal ideation and actually making the attempt helped me to get the courage to write the book. So it was 1996. I was struggling with my sexuality. I was struggling, being in the church. I was struggling. I was in unhealthy relationships. It's so funny how I can talk about it now, but when I was in it, maybe it almost took me out of here. So I was in graduate school, knew I didn't want to be in graduate school, but that's the only way that I could leave Pennsylvania and get away from my mom and family and, let my hair down. And so it had all culminated. I came home, it was raining. It snuck up on me. I didn't even know it was there. I knew something about depression. I was the one that people came to talk to about their problems. And I found myself in a new situation, and the heaviness had just jumped on me. I had contemplated shooting myself, jumping off the second floor balcony. I remember walking into the bathroom, reaching out for pills and daring God. And people were mad at me for even saying that and writing about it, but daring God, if you are a God that sees everything and can do anything, I dare you to stop me, because at this point in time, I don't want to die, but I want this pain to stop. Mm-hmm. So if you don't, I'm going to take it into my hands. And I remember taking the pill bottle, and then the next thing I remember is waking up. Now I was in my bathroom, but waking up in my bedroom. Okay. So somewhere, God interceded, and that now he took the thought of suicide away, but left the depression, because there were lessons that I had to learn, strengths that I had to gain within that fight of depression. And baby, it was a fight. But let me tell you, on the other side,
come on now.
On the other side. And that's why I'm saying there's a purpose within the purpose. Right. I had to go through this depression and suicidal thinking in order to be able to experience the joy and the happiness and the success and just the feeling of just, I am all right, not going to be all right presently, I'm all right. So I have a greater appreciation for life. Now, yeah.
Now, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
That's right. I didn't cheer up.
But it's very interesting, with your background, with your master's in psychology, and going through depression and what that is, and being on the verge of suicidal thoughts. And it reminds me of the brain surgeon who had a stroke. And it's just like her interesting thing. Her first thing is like, oh, how can I document what this actually feels like? Go through this, as opposed to somebody who's just looking at it and observing it. I think that lives so much credence when you tell somebody, hey, I know it seems horrible right now, right? But when you get past this, you will see that it wasn't as bad as you thought. If you take yourself out now, you'll never find that out. Right. And that bears so much weight when people can I hate to be churchy with it because that's not my thing.
Right.
I say God every day, but I'm a spiritual person. Okay.
Right.
But when people have been through it and they can share their story, their testimony, whatever it is, to folks like, hey, I know what it's like to have been upset or felt like I don't know where I'm gonna be able to pay this bill. This person that was my world has just betrayed me, and I feel like all is lost. Mm-hmm. I think everybody here has been through at least one love affair where you thought it was going to be just devastated when it was over. Like, oh my God,
I can't breathe.
Right. And it was devastating.
But now on the other side, you look back like, God, I can't believe that I was so upset and devastated about that, because my life now is I found so much joy and love and happiness that what little thing that was there was nothing compared to what I have now. And it makes you, as you say, you appreciate it because you have gone through that. You've experienced what it is to feel heartbreak or betrayal or devastation or loss. And to come on the other side, like, but I am still standing here, whatever that spiritual connection, whatever it is that you have that gets you through it, being able to be on the other side of it and being able to share that can let other people know, like, okay, they got through it, I can get through it.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was going to piggyback in on what you. So, being the truth behind the truth of what you're saying, Parnell, is very profound, because we realize how strong we are when we're in the middle of it. Yeah. Okay, because if you're not in the middle of it or not going through it, you never know how strong you automatically are, because you don't go in thinking I'm strong, but when you're in the middle of, wow, I'm overcoming this, and every stage that I'm overcoming, it makes me realize that I have the strength automatically. Because somebody tell you, usually what you hear is like somebody says, "Oh, you got enough strength to go through." You're like, no, not me. And then when you start facing that opposition, whatever it is, and then you're like, and you come through the other side of it, like you're saying very strongly, you realize that I had strength the whole time. So there is the good in the process of going through, which kind of leads me, what I'll wrap up with about Candie in a minute. But go ahead, Brad, give your point.
So, but the truth behind that truth is my walk through depression and suicidality is not. It's not the answer to someone else. You have to find it out for yourself. And it helped me to address and how to speak, use a dialogue and speaking with people. I can't tell you that it's going to be all right. I don't know if it's going to be all right for you, but you have to find something, the strength, the skill set to go through it if you choose to, because you could still choose to stay in this situation. And I don't believe that you are taken out of this world until you have fulfilled your purpose. So you can try to hasten death. You can try to hasten being taken out of this world. But baby, let me tell you, somebody has another plan for you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
Brad, man, this is like powerful. Okay, I mean, so. Tell everybody how they can reach you, how they can get connection with your book, where they can order it.
That's mine. I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing this with me. The book can be purchased on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, Sisters, A Promise Kept, or you can search my name, Bradley Candie, Candie. You can also find me on my website, bradleycandie.com, and I use Instagram, all social media, but the primary one is Instagram, bradley.candie.
Wow. And where can we find those glasses?
Glasses.
I can't tell you everything. This is Vogue. Baby, if you don't know nothing about Vogue Me and Zulu and I Buy Direct,
Brad, man, thank you so much for coming and being a part of us tonight, man. Hey, we send you love, and you are more than welcome to be at this table at any time. I mean, because I know that there's a lot in you and more that you can share with this platform, and we're gonna have to invite you back, and spend more time with you, definitely.
And I'm coming to California.
Yes, please. You got the number. All right, Brad. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, brother. We'll see you soon. All right.
God bless.
Give Brad a great big hand for being here tonight, and get that book, guys, and be ready for the movie. Because
Sisters,
our production company gonna produce that movie. Watch. All right.
I received that.
We'll see you soon, brother. We'll be right back after this break, guys. All right, and we're back, guys. Thank you so much. Wow, what a powerful night we've had with Brad Candie. It has been a great night with him. We're gonna have to have that brother back, y'all.
Yeah, we
I'm
need
telling
it.
you, it was very inspiring. Definitely, please go out and get his book, Amazon. Go get the book, people. Get the book. Support, please. And I'm sure that he'll be casting for the play again at sometime soon again. So we'll keep you posted on that as well.
Speaking on support. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say something funny, but
no, I was going to say one of the reasons why his book is so important is because 12% of all Black women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during their lifetime. Yeah, and Black women die more from breast cancer than any other cancer. Yes. So it's really important that, his story and being able to share it with folks who are going through cancer, caretakers, just to be able to, hear other stories, I think help others to heal, and you see yourself in those stories and you see a way out, you see life.
Yes, that's good, Harold. I think I'm glad you said that because that's really important, and to inspire. Because I mean, you're being a survivor. You know what I mean. At the end of the day, and you know what it took. You went in that dark place. And you had to find a way to pull yourself out of the dark place. It's always devastating when you hear a news like that. At the end of the day, because you don't see recovery when the news hits. You know what I'm saying. You got to process the news first, and then you can start seeing the recovery. And some people stay in the news for such a long time, and not allow themselves to be able to experience the recovery. So it's good. I mean, and so you are our testimony every day and week, of survivor, of that horrible disease. I mean, at the end of the day. But
D, tell us something funny. D was gonna tell us something funny.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. Now, would y'all support Jennifer Lopez doing this Whitney Houston tribute on the Grammys of the up and coming new Grammys that's coming up?
Doing what?
A Whitney Houston tribute.
No.
Her?
Nigga said doing what?
I like your look, partner. You went
because it's going all up and down Twitter.
Yeah,
she's now.
That's what they're saying.
She's thinking about doing the tribute to Whitney Houston because they have the same range.
Range of what? Range of what? Range of dress size? Range of dress sizes?
It might be a Vegas.
Mental health is real. Mental health is real.
I'm like, okay, that's just like, yes. Whitney was an alto. Jennifer Lopez may be an alto. That's it. That's names. I mean, I love J-Lo as a performer. She's a fantastic dancer, and all that good stuff. But that vocalist, like, if you're going to have somebody give a tribute to Whitney Houston, it needs to be somebody who can sing.
There you go, who can sing.
It's like when Christina Aguilera did that Whitney tribute, and Frenchie Davis was like, "What was Deborah Cox busy?"
Right.
I said the same thing.
Well, I mean, now the one rendition that I've ever heard, I mean, I think that J Hud. She's done a very good, good, very, very good example of someone, it drives y'all crazy. I mean, Rick to do something as a Whitney Houston. And I'm not even call her Jennifer. I don't know why. Not that Jennifer, but the true Jennifer Hudson. Okay. I don't know why. But anyway, I mean, that's just.
It shook me when I saw it on my Twitter feed. I said, is this really real or I'm just seeing things?
They need to call Deborah Cox, Heather Headley, somebody.
Well, there we go. There's somebody that can really carry. Now, I mean, I'm a J-Lo fan, like you said. I like all of the other things.
Oh yeah, Jenny from the Rock. We all love.
All of that. But as far as the Whitney's vocal, we have
not at all.
It's called lanes, people. It's called lanes.
Right.
Yeah. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you are used to.
Right.
Come on, TLC. Waterfalls. Okay.
So I want to bring it real back real quick while we got a couple of seconds. So I love how Brad went to the articulating how the different phases of how he put everything together, especially when he touched on his mental struggles. At the end of the day, and how we kind of started out the show with kind of talking about Kanye, not kind of, we were talking about him, and so I wanted to bring that back to him just real quick. At the end of the day, now we can all probably collectively agree the truth behind the truth is that the guy does have some mental struggles. At the end of the day, and very much so.
We all got mental struggles.
Okay. Well, he does. We can agree, but some people don't think he do. At the end of the day, somebody think they don't want anything except the Herschel Walker got mental struggles, but but we all know different. We all know different. So,
we all got pain.
Right.
How's the erection? The election.
Stop. Anyway,
Anyway, he said it. I didn't say it.
Anyway, let's bring this back. Okay, just for a minute here. Let me make my point. You can talk about Herschel and his erection all you want to after that. Okay. Anyway, so
what is going on?
Okay, that's what he said.
Herschel said it.
Okay, let's bring it back. Let's finish this truth behind the truth minute here, okay? Candie back on at least on somewhat a halfway level, okay? Right. So my point is that, oh my God, my point is real quick. I have like a 30-second statement. The point is that the guy does have mental struggles. At the end of the day, we all can realize that. However, looking on the bigger picture of it, and again seeking the truth behind the truth in the matter of it all, is that he may be being set up for a purpose. Okay, and let's not dismiss that particular purpose because of the craziness that we see that it's going on at this point. Even as I said earlier, he may be sitting with these white supremacists and going to dinner with Trump and all these other type of things at the end of the day. But hey, you never know. They said the same thing about went to visit what's the name? They went to visit King Jae-pong over in Korea. Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? So Dennis Rodman can go to Korea and walk up to King Jae-pong's at any time he wants to. So you have to think about that. But anyway, that's enough said about that. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the truth behind the truth tonight. It has been a super, super powerful night. Thank you again to Brad Candie taking the time out to spend with us. And please go and support him, people. Get the book, so it can become a movie. All right. So it can become a movie. All right. I'm going to say it again. So it can become a movie. That truth behind truth will produce. All right. But anyway, guys, we'll see you back next week with a special guest coming up next week. And then the week after that will be our Christmas party show. All right. And then we will see you at the end of the month for our New Year's party show. Yes. Guys, thank you. Good to see you tonight, Harold, Parnell. We love y'all. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning into the what? The truth behind the truth. Good night.